So we're back from our California trip, and that means gear wrap-up time. I'm going to make a series of videos talking about bits of gear that worked and didn't work so well on our recent mini tour. And in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about the Specialized Pathfinder Pro tires. They're 650B, full-on supple life. Find out what I like and dislike about them in this video. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you love the non-competitive side of cycling, touring, gravel, exploring, you have found your people, hit that subscribe button. We just recently passed a big milestone. We ticked over 40K, still a long way to 100K, so if you guys want to help out, smash that subscribe button and the notification bell. So after bike reviews, the most frequently asked questions I get are what I think about specific tires. So I think I'm going to start doing individual tire reviews, starting off with these ones. These are the brand spanking new Specialized Pathfinder Pros 650B by, what are these? 650B by 47. So a fairly typical width in terms of 650B tires that we're seeing these days. Our California trip consisted of a lot of pavement, some hard pack gravel, some looser gravel, some muddy terrain. So it was really a good test of these tires. In terms of width, according to our digital calipers, these actually came out pretty true to size. They measured out to about 46 millimeters. Now granted, that is on these NV rims with an internal width of 29 millimeters. So depending on the type of wheel and rim you're using, it will affect the overall width. But I find with these NV rims, 650B tires tend to be more true to size, so only a millimeter off. And the reason why that's important is you get that full width in terms of traction. But I think more importantly, the sidewalls of the tire tend to be less bulgy, so it's more predictable when you're cornering. If you're running slightly inflated, you don't feel the sidewalls collapse. A wider rim gives a wider tire profile, and in my experience, a little bit more predictability in handling of the tire, especially say if you're a heavier rider or if you're touring and carrying a load. This combination worked pretty well. In terms of tire tread and profile, it's got a high and smooth center ridge and fairly aggressive for this type of tire, texturing just off center and some deeper lugs on the shoulders of the tire. So how did these tires ride? In my experience, I was actually fairly impressed with the tire. I mean, with all the kind of aggressive texturing, you would think that it wouldn't roll as fast, but I found that at slightly higher pressures on smooth pavement, it felt like a road tire. Didn't have any real complaints on pavement. I actually think that these would make just a great all-rounder tire. When we got to more gravelly terrain, it did fairly well on hard pack, on kind of slightly tacky mud. It did start to kind of lose traction and grip once things got really sloppy, but that's a challenge for any tire within this genre. How does this tire compare to other tires like this? Compared to the WTB Byways, I actually prefer these tires better. I feel like the center ridge is more pronounced and the texturing is just a little bit more textured, so it felt like it provided more grip. So in some ways, I feel like the Pathfinder Pros are kind of a better iteration of the Byways. Comparing it to another popular gravel tire that I've used, the Panaracer Gravel Kings, for me, I definitely prefer these over the Gravel Kings. I love the Gravel Kings. They're a good, relatively budget-friendly option, but they tend to be slow. The sidewalls aren't that supple. Of the three, between the Gravel King SKs in 49 millimeter and the WTB Byways and this, I think for me, this is the clear winner. And I feel like this is a tire that you could slap on even if you're doing primarily road riding with just the occasional foray into mixed terrain. This is a pretty good all-rounder tire, even though it looks kind of chunky and more textured. Other side notes, I did run this tubeless. I didn't get to experiment too much with ultra low pressures on this trip just because our riding days were cut short with all the rain. But it performed well. I didn't have any punctures or any problems on our tour. So let me know what you guys think. Have any of you guys had the chance to try out these new Specialized Pathfinder Pro tires? What are your impressions? How do you think they ride compared to the WTB Byways or other tires like that? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more tire reviews, also let me know in the comments. And if you appreciate stuff like this, consider supporting the channel via the PayPal and Patreon links. It helps keep me motivated to make nerdy bike videos like this. So until next time, keep the supple side down.